kaya ansane ye beto aba no ye di nkomo free eye apex citizen of Ghana ho na no omo di tudwa se ade ba ko ha Ghana pa eye ahoho abegu omam titru ene alatafo yi omo ba wo musunu omo ba bi enye kama omo di nipa bone fosem ne ade a na yato aba wie ye yi omampani foforo woni gusu do omade sre to omampani a waba yanim se ba wabai onfa na ni hwe ho no nso yie pa emfa ma yen esanse ye nso di oman no enya ma me ne eye owura Peter Yeboa member apex citizen Ghana entwetwe nkobo misi Yeboa boko de
boko mi na so
yehu anadom ye ho ye pa the last time I ye di nkomo no ne enkoto wa ba sese ya to ba wi anya omampani foforo wo bibi ka kire de na ade to nanim de na wo ka kire
me so be we imagine you me give training me say ECOWAS now mo dey abachichiri Ghana ko sa military agreement san 75 soldier for abana up to abedi samre ya o mo dey abachichiri Ghana for ko na ehun infaso bia undemocratic and so helpful and you know yesterday say on tia say democracy there ono e bia so contested for 3 consecutive occasions asana Ghana for to abama nti sorry you be to program nti me omo enter easily so I say we have siblings extended family. It's not easy to be able to stay in the same house or the same area with them until we need we need a referendum for ECOWAS or we quit ECOWAS outright because it's not helping Ghana. It's not just overlook it. You are not talking about the realities. African countries, one particular country, Ghana. When you consider the population difference, any or more activities, be a COSWA, and so undemocratic. It is unhelpful. It is dangerous, and I don't know what benefit we are giving to the country.
Now, I say, ECOWAS yasemwa wokan as it stands now. Osha a sub-region numwa. Se obi enam ebia etuosu ekotu abanya gudie omon so kra omompe se bibisa everybody don't accept any military government but ekoba se nipa ni timi ye na se bia aban no eba dia agreement ahodo ene nhihye ya wo mo ye de ne no wone agi etumu ho no how do we discuss that, how do we marry the two?
That's one of the contradictions. So to say, it's a contradiction, and there's nothing they can do about it because I think every nation state determines their own destiny. They are sovereign nations. As I've already said, ECOWAS is illegal. It's undemocratic, and so why do you use ECOWAS? That is it. It's one of the contradictions. So why don't we leave countries to take their own destinies into their own hands? Which I say. So in other words, we say they don't agree when they can disagree, but still in America they will say the nations will do what they have to do. What is essential is that ECOWAS is not illegitimate. It was signed by military agreement. A military agreement, like you told Rollins that he took power by force, so they don't recognize it. That's why Rollins from PNDC changed it to become NDC. And so if you don't recognize military administration as legitimate, why do you have to accept the agreement? Even more worst of it, I say, why do you this time look at 1975 till 2017 and now the government go ahead? So that particular kind of right of residence and establishment, if the world were to be a better place and Africa were to be a developed country, it would have been a bad thing because I know we have been experiencing this kind of crimes and all the overpopulation. These things are not there. Plus the fact that ECOWAS is not legitimate in itself. So why don't they just accept that the people don't even know what's going on, and then the people have to decide their destiny.
Yeah. Now, you say economic community of West African state. The economic element, there. We hope was a benefit or man for. You say, Omobutaya is to improve the living standards of the citizens. Now, Ghana ni be ne beti say through ECOWAS inti na brabo assessor and as when improvement be on the living standard.
So that's one of the questions. I remember 2020 when this COVID-19 pandemic were going on. I had an interview with Tuma GH in Ghana, and they asked me the same question. I mean, they asked me this question. I threw it back to them. Which Ghana benefiting from? That is the question. So the aim initially was to improve the living standards of Ghanaians. So what are we seeing? These foreigners are taking over our retail trading. One particular Juna said the Ghana forbid Ghana. These people have now dumped themselves to this country, and they are taking all these businesses by force, and the government is not helping them, and the police are not helping them. What kind of humiliation is this? So Ghanaians we are messing up our country. Actually, it's very dangerous, really dangerous. So it doesn't make sense. Actually, it doesn't make sense. And so I will take the opportunity to appeal to President Mahama to do something about it. Yes.
Yeah. Now, say no, Osha. It is not clearly evident, say, ABR foreigners in particular. The last time I didn't come, you were so big on Alatafuipa. Say, Womona Bahan and Yuma, near the Oma Babajia, Womo, Omeimu. High San say, Ghana phones, Budia, no Aneja, Omo Yom, did you about phone in the house and then a cover, and they said, Yanwana say, Womugusa, Womo. Isn't it mind boggling, sir? Military agreement over 40 years, and that's what the year, Juma.
That's the point I'm still stressing on. It doesn't speak good, doesn't speak nice. I mean, it's very well. It's very well because it legitimizes a military administration. It makes it as if the military still have authority to do whatever they want, but it doesn't make sense. You see what I mean? It is just common sense for them to have known that this agreement signed by military and has taken too long. So this generation in Ghana, current generation, they don't know anything about it. But yes, they were discussing about this. Yeah, most of the people don't even know their rights. But they don't know what's ECOWAS actually. They don't know because most of them are not educated. Unlike Europe and UK joined the European community, they were educated. They had so many information about the advantages and disadvantages. It's not the same in Ghana. That has passed through the colonization, the independent military rule, then you see all this kind of things. So democracy came then within a short period without any notice. It's given this kind of thing to go ahead. It's very, very well. That's what I'm saying. That we have to change it because we are treading a very dangerous situation here. I'm telling you, because the population can continuously mention the Nigeria because there are too many.
And then we talk of integration. Said that integration culturally, socially, in terms of other aspects. Integration,
I said that is one of the regional integration. That is one of the factors, one of the elements that they embody in this so-called protocols. But let me tell Hansen, Europe is the same thing. Like European community is the same kind of integration. But look, Britain left the European community because they felt that many people who were coming into this country is like even Europe here, where the economy is very developed. They didn't like it. Integration is not that easier. Because Britain, the problem of integration was one of the factors that led Britain to leave the European community. And look at the same problem that we are not developed. We have too many tribes. We are underdeveloped. We have different kind of cultures. Europeans don't have diverse cultures like that. European here in UK, Wales, Scotland, England. These are three countries that make up the United Kingdom. Yes, Northern Ireland, which is that makes it. United Kingdom and Great Britain is Northern Ireland. Even here, my brother, I'm telling you that Scotland and England, they have problems. Scottish people, and they even want to have their own independence and then go their way. So how do we Ghanaians integrate? Look at that. Yes, we are not integrating with our neighboring country, but we are integrating with far away distant neighbors. How can they work with population, with development, with social issues? Nigerians look upon Ghanaians. They think Ghanaians are villages and all kinds of nonsense. So integration doesn't work like that. We need development. You see what I mean? We can cooperate with them like the way Switzerland is doing. Switzerland is not part of the European Union. I've been to Switzerland. It's the most cleanest I mean, it's the best country to live in, but nobody, you can't go and stay there. That is it. They are not part of the European Union. So the fact that Ghana, for me, I think Ghana should stay in ECOWAS. It doesn't mean people can't come there. They will come there in the right ways. You see what I mean? It doesn't mean that. Don't you consider the factors that we already hinted on? Development, social issues, population difference, everything. It doesn't make it conducive for this kind of thing. It imposes it on us, but in reality, the integration doesn't make sense. So what should they say? Go on, my brother.
Enti omampani awaba eye John Dramani Mahama ontie na onhye no so. Na wohwa eye based on the current state of Ghana no, should we continue to stay in ECOWAS and I say we should move away?
That's, I think, what I'm saying implies that we have to leave the ECOWAS. We need to leave the ECOWAS.
Ghana should leave ECOWAS.
Of course, we should leave the ECOWAS. What are we doing in the ECOWAS? If any government like President Mahama wants Ghana to stay in ECOWAS, it is fair and right, it's lawful for them to pause the free movement, the so-called free movement rights of residence as is going on, and give some graceful period of about 3 years to educate the public about the benefits and the advantages and disadvantages. If they can't sell the project, the concept of the project to the public, they have to leave it.
Say ECOWAS still planning on the single currency no. Ebema sub-region anya currency a emu odu. Na face inflation ni ade bebrebe nyina no. Yesika flat weight ni ade nyina na be free. Do you think say prudent say Ghana because we free ECOWAS?
I think say any Nigerian citizens also. Such as here. If the citizens rise up and say we don't need it or we don't like it, the government doesn't have to continue. The problem with Africa and especially with Ghana is that people don't care about what is going on. The few people who are aware of all these things you are saying, few people, they are either corrupt or they are afraid to speak up. Look, let me tell you, I was in Belgium, and at that time, Belgian franc was very, very valuable. At that time, they give 5,000 Belgian franc an hour. Overspend their hands at that. When they converted into that in euro, when I'm in UK, when I speak to them, all those times now, it's kind of different. And when you go to the website and say, euro has changed, euro, no, it has changed. But I said, all economy stay, and you're resilient, you're free. But euro has failed. And so if the European community currency has failed, what did they join you? Which end did they join? And people were saying, oh, this is where everything, they don't have to say it became a failed currency. Even again, the integration itself, I'm telling you, at the continent, most of them don't like the integration. The European community moves the near them, they don't like it. But the problem is I have police state such as here behind. So the people are not demanding that they have to leave after all extra borders. So everything has failed. The currency, as you said, there's no promise guarantee that the currency is going to stabilize Ghanaian currency or African currency. You see what I mean? It's the politicians who are pushing around this agenda, and it's wrong. It is wrong. They are destroying the continent. They are destroying the country. They have to put it before the people. Already, the integration, I can't remember myself. You didn't educate the people. You didn't cause a referendum. And now you are bringing in currency again. Does it make sense? You know what I mean? So it looks as if the South African leaders, they look on their selfish interests rather than the interests of the nation or the continent. And it's very, very dangerous and very unfortunate. Unfortunately, my brother.
Okay. That is a nkomo wo mu pa. Nkomo wo mu e wo sempe for edi. Was wo mu di na. Ye economy ye na yesu hu hwe sidi. Hwe ye inflation rate ni ade. Nanka as member of the sub-regional body eye ECOWAS no. Ondimi muaye wo baabi ECOWAS no contribution towards our economy. Ondimi muaye wo kwan bi aso.
Tinama then you can also come over. Second country, continent in developed way, individual countries in developed way, socially, economically, and everything. And so then you see, they can't do anything. When I was in UK and attended school, college, university, always you see European funds. European community has got always financial assistance incentives to help any institution all over Europe. And we are not seeing that in Ghana. Even I heard that these Nigerians are also attending free SHS. Where are the money coming from? Does it make sense? And so all this should be shouldered by Ghanaian taxpayers. The ECOWAS doesn't have any money because it's not legitimate. You see what I mean? And they don't have anything. We are not developed to do that. It doesn't make sense. There's no money for that. Europeans have their money. You see, Europeans have their own money. Even after the Second World War, Americans helped Britain and the whole Europe to develop themselves since then. And so Americans give them incentives, and they have developed since the Second World War. What about Ghana? Is it not colonization, independence, military takeover, and then going back to accept military agreement as integration? What kind of interest? You see, so what is the you see the bra will be something help Ben Romaka say what is say ECOWAS come into the aid of any economic provide any economic assistance via Ghana. What to be that?
But member states so our obligation towards ECOWAS.
On what?
Me say member states also our obligation towards ECOWAS, and you think say it should be vice versa. Say the member state our obligation towards it, and it should also have some obligation towards member state.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. That if a country is in dire need of any financial assistance, the ECOWAS should be able to help. That's why they are there. So if they are not able to provide those kinds of assistance, then what is the use of the ECOWAS? So the whole thing is a mess. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't the country say you can try a developer. Say I know school man. There's European funds. A country like UK, Europe has money there to assist students. And pass a government to grab them out low and I say scanners because normally you don't let them out. Maybe some binasa, school you need a lot of money. European funds are also there. So it means they are developed. They are ready for what they are doing. Plus, they've given their people the referendum for them to express their consent. What are we seeing in Ghana? Isn't that mess? Again, about the ECOWAS, what does it? Just please tell me one thing that ECOWAS does to help the nation of Ghana.
The boy that say, Bibi, I'll be trying to one no young call a sa conversation. Whom you say, the Wabano, Obeti, now for no so they are Juma. Anne, Wadaroma.
Say, if you move why if you say ECOWAS name, and more seriously, the problems that they actually in Chimano, your money and no. How many foreigners a back assassination and for so be any so a yani assassin. Yankasa, a trace and move international. No mum, ECOWAS no, a yambra, and Timon Chasso. Now, a no chess and move in Maho. We be looking about them, young control, Yanka saying, we should have to control our destiny. We shouldn't tie our destiny in any country's destiny. That's not going to work. Until Omwa, na yanya referendum, I will say, in free, na yanya amount from cooperative. Yes, sir. As my training president
that's a papa and pay any and come or Peter Buana attending.